Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for Elle Studio to share with you this large photo birthday layout created using the March kits and add-ons. So I have this large photo. I don't know what size it is. I'm going to go with 8 by 10, roughly thereabouts. Large photo of my son on his birthday, and I'm using 2 pieces of the paper stack, one for the left-hand side and then the other for the right-hand side, and that is going to each go an inch down from the top. And then I'm going to create the flip from the photo itself. In a minute, I am going to actually go to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch on that border, and that will be, I'll actually score it, that will be where the flip is. So off I go in a second to the sewing machine and just straight stitch literally all the way down. And I'll show you a close-up of that. There we go. So I've left the threads hanging because I kind of like the movement of that, but I haven't decided as I'm creating whether I'm going to leave them or snip them. So there is the flap, and then I like to have an anchor of the flap so that in the page protector it's not sort of flipping around, and so I will take care of that in a minute. So I've decided I want these tags, but I don't want all of them, and they're going to go on the underside, and they are going to house additional photos as well as the journaling will go on the inside there. So I'm going to cut apart all of the tags. Sorry for the jumping camera, but the paper pad that I'm working on, that grid We Are Memory Keepers pad, is my tripod is actually abutted right up to it, and so whenever I move, that shakes the tripod as well. So I try very hard not to, but that little bit of distance to move it back a little bit is just throws the centering of the camera off. So there are 9 tags, and I don't want all 9 of them because I do want that white space in the middle that's going to give sort of a subtitle to this, as well as space for journaling. Although I had thought as I was creating that maybe some of the journaling would go on a few of the tags as well, and I decided I opt not to do that. Then in these 3x4 pocket cards, there are additional little tags, and I thought, well, that's a fun way of bringing the color from the left-hand side over to the right-hand side. And then that way it becomes even more interactive with the little tags hanging off of there. So I will skip through the process of cutting all of those individual tags because it's literally just me cutting. And then once I have cut all of those little tags, I will also punch holes in the big tags as well as the little tags. So I'm going to use my trusty We Are Memory Keepers dial a hole punch. I love this thing. I use it a ton. So it's got the perfect size for the big holes as well as the smaller holes in the smaller tags. And then I'm going to get some baker's twine, and I'm going to thread that through and create loops that I will glue down using a liquid adhesive. See how fun that is? Look, it's like a party on a page, right? And so I'm not sure why I didn't just glue those down. I think because I was thinking exactly about how I wanted to do that. So I have moved on, and I want to cover the little bit of white that's on the photo that's popped up. And so just to add a little bit more pattern to the page, and also a little bit of delineation with the white contrast. So this piece of paper says happy birthday to you. So I've used my scallop punch there to create a fine border, and that will go over the little bit of photo that's sticking up because I had a very thin margin from where I sewed. So that'll cover it up, anchor that down, and yeah, see the contrast, doesn't it? It makes that blue pop even more. And so I have now decided, oh, I've got one extra tag. What am I going to do with that? So I swap out one of the colors so that I have a little bit more contrast there. And I want to decorate the right-hand side of the layout a little bit more and add a little bit more color there because if you think of a teeter-totter, it's like the teeter-totter's skewing to the right and everything's falling off onto the right-hand side of the page because it's so darkly dominant there. So these are the chipboard number candles, and I'm going to use the 2 and the 1 because this is his 21st birthday. This is like, I swear this was like the 6th time we celebrated this birthday, because he wasn't actually home. He was out at Virginia Tech for the actual day, but he came home the weekend after. I think it was on a Wednesday, and so he came home that Saturday and Sunday after. But we had also, before his birthday, gone up to DC to a Michelin star restaurant and celebrated there as well. So many celebrations, plus the actual day his friends celebrated with him. It was as your 21st birthday should be. So I've got the chipboard stickers there, and I used a static powder pouch to take away the adhesive on the top, on the flame of the candles, so that that is where the photo will adhere to, so that it's not kind of flapping around. So it just is an anchor to that. It makes it a little bit more secure. So I'm wrapping around your presents, the baker's twine, through the holes and through those little mini tags. And I wanted the little mini tags to be loose so that they could kind of just sort of blow around. And so the liquid adhesive I'm using to adhere just the strings down that those mini tags are floating on, but those red and pink tags are adhered to the page itself. So I've done the top row, and now I'm going to do the bottom row. The exact same thing, some big loops, some loops up, some loops down, some smaller loops, just for a little bit of variety and movement. I'm all about movement and interactive elements on my pages lately. Actually, I won't say lately. It's been for a little over a year now since I've been doing memory keeping, which I guess I have 2 years of. So, yeah, okay. A longer time than that. So all the little loops, and then in that center space there, I am going to use the stamps, the birthday sentiment stamps, and stamp Hip Hip Hooray, It's Your Special Day in black, and then I will journal underneath. I will also add photos to 4 photos, and then journaling in the empty ones that I have not put in there. So now I want to build up this title underneath to say Happy 21st Birthday. I want some of these fun confetti pieces as well to just celebrate. And I want more of it on the outside than on the inside, because I feel like I've got a lot of color and fun movement on the inside already. So that little yellow thing I'm going to pull off to the side. Given that this is his 21st birthday, I didn't like the birthday hat on his head itself, plus proportionally it was way out of balance for me. So just kind of shuffling around some of the puffy stickers, some of the die cuts, as well as, those things, just to add a little bit more to the page. I stuck a puffy Make-A-Wish sticker on the cake, which isn't actually a cake, it's a pie. He likes s'mores pie from Proper Pie. It's this pie shop that we have here. You'll see another layout, no doubt, or something in my memory planner about Pie Day. This is where we got his birthday pie from. And just adding some embellishments to add a little bit more to the page. It ends up being that I'm going to have a visual triangle that'll move where that cake is from that mid right hand side over to the left, kind of closer to the top where that yellow Hip Hip Hooray is, and then down to the 21st birthday. So that's sort of the visual triangle that leads your eye around the page. I like that leading eye. So now I'm going to use the Happy Birthday stamp set. There are dies that coordinate with that, but I am going to use just the stamps, and I stamp Happy 21st. I use the ST from the little balloons, the alpha balloons, and then birthday, and I like it, but I'm going to kick it up a notch, and I'm going to put that little red tag underneath there, which just kind of pulls that dominant red that's in the top part of the layout down. I will also off camera use some of the confetti and put that on top of Happy, and it just sort of closes that gap between the bottom of the photo and the Happy. Birthday doesn't really need it because you'll see I'm going to put a hat in, and so that creates some closure to that space there. The other thing that I'm going to do off camera is I felt like it needed a little bit of balance at the top, so I'll take the Celebrate stamp, and that is from the Happy Birthday stamp set as well, and I'm going to stamp that in black, and then there is just a a little circle dot. I'm going to stamp that between each of the celebrates in yellow all the way across. And so that will wrap up the page, other than me putting in the photos and the journaling. For those are all of the off-camera things. So I want this birthday hat to be, I want a little less of the white border because it's pretty thick around it, and I like thin borders. And then I'm going to pop this up on foam just so that it matches the dimension thereabouts of the chipboard 21st in there. So that is going to wrap it up, my friends. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you get to have some fun celebrations coming up soon too. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. Come back again soon. Take care.